Welcome to the Audio Spells production, Journeys of the Astropath, Michael. I am Cyril, and we are ecstatic to bring you this show. So please help us grow by following, liking, and sharing it. For more information and full credits, check out www.theastropath.com and search Journeys of the Astropath on Facebook. Now, let us cast you a spell.
I was on a roll last night, but there are 3 special ringtones on my phone, and last night one of them rang. Interruptions are inevitable, and I try very hard to react to them positively. I mean, I don't have that many friends, truth be told. Oh, a lot of acquaintances, but friends? I'm not so flush. Anyway, when one of my 3 special rings chimes, I try my best to drop what I'm doing and take the call or text. Last night, it was Rachel, my sister's best friend, a self-proclaimed man-hating lesbian. A lot of laughs, and one of the most sexually active people I've ever read. I'm not gonna lie, people think a lot about sex. The sex they're having, the sex they aren't, but wish they could. The sex they're glad no one knows they're thinking about, and well, reading their thoughts is sometimes entertaining. You see, thoughts, when I read them, they come in pictures. Vivid, full color, man. Memories, imagination, a swirling of both. That's most thoughts. And words. Humans are full of them, ranting them as they attempt to make sense of the chaos around them and inside them. Rachel was always there for my sister, and now, despite the fact that I am everything she hates about men, she's adopted me out of duty or love or both. Rachel is a volume all to herself. Believe me, I'll get back around to her. But all day today, I set my mind on finishing the eventful weeks that introduced me to being an astropath, to Marlow, and to what happened to my sister. So Marlow came into my life like a storm front, whirling with a barrage of precipitation, thunder, and lightning. The onslaught of change that he brought was nothing short of a complete transformation. It was the end of everything I'd ever thought true, the beginning of everything I now hold dear. But it wasn't always sweetness and light. Getting hit with this much baptismal rain at times felt like a flood bent on drowning me. And I kicked and I splashed against those waves, and I'm not always sure how he had the patience to weather my resistance. Can you blame me? It started with him telling me, that day in the hospital room, my sister was trapped because she was still alive. Not exactly the kind of thing anyone wants to hear. So my reaction to that was, fuck you. But he looked at me with such a blank expression that I realized he was one of those, it is a fact, kind of guys. I have spoken with her doctors, he said. I have a very clear idea of her situation. I also have a very vivid understanding of your circumstances. You see, we are the same. I'd like to help you understand this. I'm about to change your life, but that change often comes at a cost. When his last word cleared his lips, I honestly didn't know whether I should punch him in the throat or just walk away. And then he smiled. You would never be able to touch my throat, he said, flatly. And trust me, you don't want to walk away. I'm the best chance you have. I knew card players who were so fucking good you'd swear they were reading your mind. Their hunches were so accurate. This was not that. He knew what I was thinking, and now I was getting freaked out. He went to the door and shut it, closing out the hallway and secluding us to my hospital room. I'm here to help. I can read your thoughts. I was thinking, that's insane, or I'm insane, losing my grip on reality. No, you're okay, he assured me. It is something I can do and something you can also do, with a bit of teaching. How do you test a mind reader? I mean, that's what I was thinking. So he nodded at me as if he knew that was what I was thinking, and I should go right ahead. So I pictured things in my mind. Goofy stuff, a playing card, a baseball mitt, a pirate flag, a bottle of bourbon. Well, I asked him. Jack of clubs, a baseball mitt, a pirate flag that was actually a cartoon-sponsored breakfast cereal imitation, and cheap bourbon. So those words were enough to blow my mind. But then, when my eyes locked onto his mouth, and it became apparent to me that he was not talking at all, but rather speaking to me with his mind, I was really losing it. Think you're a response back to me, he encouraged. Think my response? Right. But I could hear my words in a way, not an echo, but a kind of feeling that he heard my words and I was saying nothing. You're in my head, I said, and you're in mine, he replied. I'd stepped off my hospital bed and was unsteady on my feet. Marlow looked like a skinny guy, a lanky scarecrow kind of build. But man, when he grabbed my arm with those bony fingers to keep me upright, his grip was firm. He thought to me, as directly as his grip was steady, I'd like to ease you into this, but it's not possible. We don't have the time. Your sister's condition demands that you use your innate ability, as raw as it may be, to help her now. In fact, only you can. So you are going to be afraid, shocked, confused, but I'm going to show you right now what you have been born to do. Confusion is far too simple a word for how I was feeling. You could start with that. Blend in the panic of being held underwater after having my head pummeled by falling boulders, and the horror of the urgency that perhaps my sister's life was in my hands. That might scratch the surface of how I was feeling. Tell me what to do, I said. How do I help her? Listen carefully, he began. Everything I'm about to tell you will prove, so don't waste our time with what's impossible or how. You can and I will show you the way to do everything we're doing, because we are the same, Astropaths. And now we are going to begin. Are you ready? I mumbled a yeah. He led me back to the bed. Lay down. It's a good enough place to put you for now. Put me? I interrupted. Yes. Just lay down. I did as I was instructed. He loomed above me, his eyes looking down into my face. Look into my eyes. We're going somewhere. I peered right, took a deep breath, and then turned my gaze right into his pale blue eyes. The sensation of being snatched out of my body for this first time was a rush, not unlike that of the moment a roller coaster breaks the apex and begins its descent. The feeling was butterflies swimming through my stomach, up through my lungs, and lodging in my throat. We arrived in a forest where the scent of foliage was so rich and earthy, breathing was exhilarating. There was a roar of water close by, but I couldn't see the source. Marlow stood in front of me. We can't stay long, but this is a special place, he said, and I wanted to demonstrate to you the power you possess. We are in Bhutan. You are here in a physical form. But your body is also back on your hospital bed in Denver, Colorado. That body, as your soul or essence, is in this body, is helpless and comatose until you return. The first law of astral projecting is to put your body in a very safe place. We are bending that rule today out of necessity. It's embarrassing. American education exemplified, but I didn't know where Bhutan was. He smiled at my thought, and I smiled knowing he'd read my mind. You will be able to block me probing your mind with training. And the water you're hearing is one of the most majestic waterfalls in the world. We'll see it in a moment. You take me, and we can go anywhere? Is that what's happening? I asked. No, he said. Now that you know you can do this, you need to only picture the place you want to be in your mind, and you'll be there. I was doing my best to soak it all in. You're doing fine. Come with me, he coaxed, and then walked through a set of trees going in the direction of the water. I followed. The spray from the raging river, only feet from the base of the gigantic waterfall, soaked me instantly. He was tossing his head from side to side like an elephant at play, as the water sprayed him and he laughed at its cool, refreshing temperature. I can feel it, I said. He stepped back from the water, close to me, and said, yeah, you're physical here. You're alive here. And with a blink of an eye, you can be anywhere. You're an astropath. His spirit was filling me with wonder and hope. So if I'm an astropath, how do I save my sister? I asked. His smile melted away as he turned his eyes sternly on my face. Michael, I never said save her. I said help her.